I'm bored, and my success on TikTok lately has been so much better than I ever thought it would be that it has afforded me a ton of time to return to some Dragon Ball video talks. I went from 47 subs to over 1,600 subs in a matter of just a month, which is wild. Same for YouTube, I went from 6,100 to just over 6,500 in that same time frame, so thank you to all the supporters out there and recently kicking this into high gear for me. I really appreciate it. 500 new subs in a month on YouTube and over 1,500 subs on TikTok is just total insanity, and I never thought it was possible. But speaking of insanity, I wanted to show you just how insane the cult is when they say things like Frieza or Cell or Majin Buu were universe tier characters in Dragon Ball. There's calculators out there that show the yield needed to destroy the moon, the earth, and the sun, and even galaxies. When you strip off the yield requirement number and place the power level rating for that character in its place, you can easily calculate what power level is required to destroy things. An example, the yield explosive force required to destroy the moon in these calculators is really accurate, and removing it and replacing it with Roshi's 138 power level is the most accurate way to gauge power levels in Dragon Ball. Roshi's Kamehameha has an explosion yield that we can just plot into the calculator at 138, since he blew up the moon with that power level. Okay, so we have the yield calculation for the power level required for the moon to be destroyed, so let's scale that up to a planet. Now this is a total one-shot destruction, and I'm not talking about burrowing into the core, we're talking about insta-boom. If the yield required to destroy the moon is 138, then destroying a planet the size of the Earth requires a power level of 256,000. Which is really funny and proven 100% accurate due to the guidebook saying that Frieza's 50% power is required to fully wipe the Earth. First form Frieza's power level was 500,000. So this is about actually close to 100% spot on, and actually proves my point that back in the day, Akira's science team and writer staff really did talk to scientists and found these yield calculators, which take into account the density of planets and stars. So let's take a step back for just one moment. 138 is the yield replacement to destroy our moon. 256,000 is required to wipe the Earth, and this is spot on with how the guide says Frieza's 50% power is required to destroy the Earth in one shot. The same calculators scale up to the sun, and this is where all the moronic, debunked, scalers mislead their communities. The sun is 300,000 times the volume of the Earth. But it's not static like the Earth is. Plasma is shifting around, and the surface is always swirling, and the core is much more dense than this. These calculators only give the values if the object is totally static and not moving. So if the sun were frozen in place and not moving at all, it would require a power level of 806 trillion to wipe. Super Saiyan 1 Goku and Final Form Frieza's power level were 150 million and 120 million officially. That means Goku and Frieza need to increase their power level by a factor of over 5 million times just to wipe one star. I hate to break it to you, but the official multiplier levels for DBZ are already given in the guides and promo materials. Super Saiyan 1 is 50 times your base. Super Saiyan 2 is only double the power level of Super Saiyan 1. And Super Saiyan 3 is 4 times the power of Super Saiyan 2. So we can easily calculate this. It's really not hard. Super Saiyan 2 looms around 300 million for a power level, and Super Saiyan 3 around 1.2 billion. Terrible scalers ignore this series and think Goku and the rest of them increase their power levels by a factor of thousands to millions to billions of times, which is actually insane and it's just awful lies. Goku went from a power level of 400 to 7,600, training with King Kai under the best possible circumstances in 6 months, dead as can be and his body not having the same requirements as when he was alive. and also having no restrictions to harm others during his training, able to go 100% daily, and also having someone there to heal him. He did not increase his power by 20 times, he only got a plus 7,600 increase in the power level. Every 6 months worth of training in the best possible conditions only increases his base form by 7,600, roughly 14,000 per year, and Goku cannot achieve this level of perfect training conditions, so it's way less than this. That means if Goku's power level base was 3 million, then 6 months later after intense training, his power level is only 3,007,600, and after a year, it would be 3,014,000. A year in the time chamber could be considered excellent unrestricted training, yet Goku doesn't ever get to this level of perfection very often. So the power level ratings are accurate, 1.2 billion for Super Saiyan 3 Goku and 300 million for Super Saiyan 2. So a star requires a power level of 806 trillion to destroy if it were static and not moving. But it's not static, it's moving at 450,000 miles an hour, and it's 300,000 times as massive as the Earth, so the actual required power level is vastly higher than that. That means Super Saiyan 3 Goku would need to increase his power level by a factor of 671,000 times just to wipe a single static star. Perfect Cell and Frieza are nowhere near this. Buhan is nowhere near this. Vegito is nowhere near this. It's not until Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Instinct in general roll around that star level are more viable. And Whis states that MUI Goku is less than Galaxy tier, and I do believe that Goku at that point is over 671,000 times the power level of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. But look, 806 trillion is required for one star's destruction, and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Perfect Cell's power level looms somewhere around 300 million. It's not hard to figure out. Akira and the writing staff wrote it this way for a reason. Saying Cell is solar system level destruction as a character, or Final Form Frieza is a starbreaker, or that Majin Buu and Broly are Galaxy tier is just flat out fanfiction, as Broly was wiped by just one star. Do you see the lies? Broly is Galaxy level, but he was vaporized by just one star. Majin Buu was a universe breaker, but he was destroyed by the collective ki power of just the residents of Earth, and fractional ki at that, given by the population of the Earth. Scalers often don't think things through, and I've made a career out of debunking them. I deserve 1 million subs for telling the truth, and they deserve to lose their subs for being caught lying so much.